What's up, everyone? It's your boy Norm Brad89 here, bringing you another video. And for today's video, we are going to be talking about Stranger Things Season 4, or the first half of Season 4. I just finished this a couple days ago, and oh man, they just found another way to grab me. The Duffer Brothers do a fabulous job, and just as the episodes progressed and we got deeper and deeper into the story, they just pulled me right back in. So today we're going to talk about what I did really enjoy about this season, what I'm looking forward to for the rest of the season that drops on, I believe, July 1st. So I'm excited for that. So I can't wait. And of course, we're going to be talking some spoilers today. So if you haven't seen it, they're all on Netflix right now. The first half of Season 4, go run out and check it out and then come back so we can talk about it. Roll it. So the first half of Season 4 for Stranger Things, right off the bat, it is quite jarring to deal with the kids and how old and how much they've progressed, like time-wise, how much time has gone by. And I know because of COVID, it kind of put a hindrance on them making the season and stuff, and they filmed it in 3 different locations, so it took them a very long time to film this and stuff like that. Even Millie Bobby Brown, she was on a recent episode of Hot Ones. That's a channel where they do like eat buffalo wings, and this guy interviews them and asks them questions, and she even said it took them a few years to actually get all the stuff nailed down for this season and film all the content because of how much traveling and all the COVID stuff going on this year and everything like that, or the past couple years. So yes, Season 4 is the beginning half already is quite the banger, and like I said, quite jarring to see how old the kids have gotten. And we're dealing with a new villain in this one, and our villain, it gets named from another D&D character called Vecna, who is basically a dark wizard, and that's what is like the name that they give this character in this one. And our main villain is someone who's kind of tormenting kids who have dark pasts, or things happen to them, or maybe like something that's just haunting them deep in their past, and he's going after these kids and kind of torturing them with visions. And it has a lot of Robert Englund Nightmare on Elm Street vibes. Like, that's the Freddy Krueger vibes. You kind of get that throughout the whole entire episodes of all of this first half of the season. And it's also a little different to have the fact that we got Eleven and Will and his mom and all that stuff living in a different town, so they're a little bit further away from the other kids who are still living in the old town. So it's different. And it seems kind of a thing over this season and the third season to have like the groups, like sections of groups of the kids, and how they section them off into certain groups, and then they're separate for the whole season, kind of thing. And they do the same thing in this season of keeping certain groups of the kids separate. And even the mom starts going on her other journey, or her new journey with Murray, which, man, Murray's character is quite welcomed and was probably one of my favorite parts of Season 3. And to see him return in Season 4, that was probably I got a huge smile on my face when she called Murray to ask him for help about the package that she received that had like the Russian stickers on it and all that kind of stuff. And we have Eleven and Will, and they're going through a really tough time and trying to, get into their new high school life because it's a new town. And Eleven is at that point where she's really getting picked on by like those popular girls in school and stuff like that. And she's trying really hard to fit in. Even like her projects, she's investing a lot of time into the projects that she does for school, and you can tell that Elle is really trying to fit in and just be a normal girl. Even the fact that she knows deep down that her powers are gone, but throughout these first kind of couple episodes, she's trying to use her powers still, and trying to find out oh, what happened to me, because she's used to using them. And especially when she gets emotional, they come out right away. And yeah, when she realizes that she doesn't have them anymore, that things are different, and we're probably going to go maybe down a dark path to try to retrieve those powers back. And I want to talk about some of my favorite characters, or my 2 favorite characters in all the entire show are Steve and Nancy. Steve and Nancy, I think, are my favorites, and it might be because I'm older, I gravitate more towards those teenage ones, and how they're kind of always having to kind of babysit and watch the younger characters in the show. But I think Steve and Nancy are fabulous. And Nancy, again, once she finds out there's deaths and stuff occurring, especially when the first one happens at this trailer park, oh man, she is right on board, investigating. She does not give up, just like she was in that third season when she found out about that rabid rats and the story, and she was trying to get the story, her paper editors, to focus on it. She right away does not give up, and she won't put it down, and I like that aspect of her. She's like a really hardcore detective and cares about her cases and stuff like that. Then we have Steve, and Steve is fabulous too all the time, because he's the one you could really count on, and he's committed to being there for them, and he knows he's been through so many crazy stuff, and he knows he's not the strongest person in the whole group, but he's down to sacrifice himself for all the younger ones and the rest of the group as well. And I think it's cool too how we have the mom going on her journey with Murray, like, and I kind of was bothered by the fact that she ends up lying to the children about it, but how she goes looking for Hopper and like goes on her journey with Murray. That's cool too. Like, I can't wait to see what else happens from that, because we got a lot of stuff of that in her journey when she went with Murray. So like I said, this season, it's packed with a lot of storyline stuff. And the thing I'm worried about is how we're going to wrap it up in the second half. Like, I'm loving it. There's some things I don't like. Like, my main thing, I know it matters because he means something to the story. He does service the story, but I just don't like his character. But maybe that's the purpose, and that's how good an actor this guy is. But I believe it's Jason is the character, and he's the one, Lucas's friend, the basketball star, and he's the one that's after Eddie, and he's just like hating on him because he's a D&D like nerd and thinks he's a Satan worshiper and stuff like that, and they think he's the one that killed that girl in the trailer park. So it's wild. His character goes balls to the wall. It's like that angry mob scene, kind of like in Halloween 4 or something like that, or like the evil dies tonight, like Halloween Kills. Like, once it happened, it totally made me think of that, for real. So yeah, those scenes, it bothered me, but he does service the story because he represents those section of people, or that group of people that don't really understand. They don't understand everything, and they're quick to judgment of something, especially if they don't understand that, or if they're afraid of it, they're quick to judge that thing. So Eddie being a D&D nerd, and that's something they don't understand, they're quick to judge him and believe that he's a murderer. Of course, we have to talk about Eddie. He is a great addition to this to this series, and like, he's the new friend from Dustin and Mike and stuff, and kind of leading them in the way of being the older man in the group in their high school and stuff, and he's still the nerd, and he wants to pass on the D&D pride legacy to them of the Hellfire Club. So that's really cool. He's a great character. A lot of great new additions to this season, you know, a cool new villain in Vecna, and like a great new backstory and stuff we have with Elle and tied between him and her. Like, and I kind of guessed that as the season was going on, that kind of quick guess that Vecna was going to have a tie to Elle and being someone who she knew from her past. So that was kind of cool how we tackled that stuff, and she goes off by her own to try to achieve her powers again and become a superhero. As she tells Mike in her letter, she goes off to become a superhero again, and goes with the people that she used to be with, that raised her, and the group with all the other children, to, you know, help bring their powers up. And that's what she's trying to do right now, and she has to relive and go through her past, basically sees like a young version of herself and what happened. So it's really cool. This season, it's got some really deep stuff on it and all that kind of stuff, but I'm just still a little nervous if they're going to be able to wrap it up. But we'll see. I have faith in the Duffer Brothers because all the first 3 seasons I love. I really don't hate any of the seasons or any of the stuff that has happened. Like, I don't hate any of the seasons. So I'm hoping that this second half of season 4, that they're able to wrap it up and end this show on a high. You know what I mean? I don't want it to continue for like 8, 9 seasons and just keep going until they run it into the ground and there's no more ideas. Like, I'd rather them end this show when it's at a high point, at a really good point for Stranger Things. But let me know in the comment section what you all think of Stranger Things, the first half of season 4 so far, and what are you expecting from the second half of season 4? Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. And what are you expecting from the second half of season 4? And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing, because pretty soon we're going to be on continuing our Friday the 13th review series. Going to be on to this bad boy next, Jason Goes to Hell. This is the next one we're going to be talking about. So make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing on the channel. Have a safe and happy day, everyone. Peace out.